My mother-in-law treats me like a toy for her son. I married Kevin 2 years ago, and at the rehearsal dinner his mom Patricia said, "Kevin prefers women with their hair down. Mine was in a bun." I changed it thinking she was being helpful. That was my mistake because the tips never stopped. 3 months later, she showed up with a bag of pastel cardigans. She said Kevin mentioned I wear too much black and it makes me look tired. Kevin shrugged when I asked and said he might have told his mom something, but didn't think it was a big deal. Then my lipstick was too dark, my jeans too ripped, my work hours too long because Kevin comes home to an empty house. She started timing visits for when he got home to check if I had dinner ready. If I didn't, she would sigh and say she raised her son to expect a hot meal. But times are different now. She never yelled. Everything was framed as advice or just trying to help. I felt insane because how do you complain about someone buying you sweaters? 6 months ago, I wore a red dress to Kevin's birthday dinner at her house. The second we walked in, she asked if I had anything less flashy. She said red draws too much attention, and it's Kevin's day, not mine. I cried in their bathroom but came back in the same dress. She frowned through dinner and kept bringing up Kevin's ex, Ashley, who apparently always knew how to dress appropriately. Kevin said nothing. I started finding handwritten notes in my purse. One said Kevin feels more loved when you greet him at the door. Another said a clean home shows respect for your husband. Kevin told me his mom just cares and I should appreciate her help. I felt guilty for being annoyed. 2 months ago, Patricia took me to lunch and pulled out a purple notebook. Inside were pages of observations about me with dates and times. How I looked tired on March 4th, how I forgot to compliment Kevin's haircut on April 10th, how I served pasta 3 times in 1 week. She said she'd been keeping track to help me become the wife Kevin deserves. She slid it across the table and told me to review it regularly. There were stars next to important things, an entire section about my laugh being too loud at family gatherings. I took it home and read through it at night. Everything about me was wrong. I wasn't a person. I was a project she was fixing. Last week was Patricia's birthday dinner. Kevin's aunt, 2 cousins, and Patricia's sister came. About 12 people. Patricia made comments about whether I made the dessert myself, and mentioned Ashley used to make homemade pies. She said Kevin looked thinner and wondered if he was eating enough. Then she brought up the notebook in front of everyone. She said she'd been mentoring me on being a better wife and wanted to share my progress. She asked me to get the notebook from her bedroom upstairs so she could show everyone how much I'd improved. I went upstairs and got it. Everyone was smiling when I came back like this was sweet. Patricia held out her hand, but I opened it myself and started reading out loud. January 15th, she wore black again. Told her Kevin prefers lighter colors. February 3rd, her voice gets shrill when excited. Reminded her to stay calm. March 9th, she forgot to ask Kevin about his meeting. A good wife remembers. April 22nd, served spaghetti again. Kevin is probably bored. I kept going. The table went silent. I read about my laugh and greeting Kevin at the door and wearing red to his birthday and comparisons to Ashley 6 times. I read for 5 minutes while Patricia's face went from confused to white to red. I closed it and looked at Kevin. This is what your mom has been doing for 2 years. Keeping score. Treating me like a doll she's fixing. I asked if he thought this was normal. If his wife should live up to a written list to be good enough. Kevin sat frozen. His aunt stared at Patricia. His cousin said, "What the hell?" Patricia stammered she was only helping and I was being dramatic. Her sister cut her off and said, "Patricia, this is unhinged." Kevin drove me home silent. At our apartment, he said he needed time to think. I told him I was done being treated like a toy. Done being molded into whatever his mom decided was perfect. If he couldn't see how messed up this was, maybe she should find him a new wife to fix. He slept on the couch. Next morning, he said he talked to his mom and she admitted she got carried away. Got carried away. Like she accidentally tracked my flaws for 2 years. He said she promised to back off. I said we needed marriage counseling or I was staying at my friend's place. We start counseling next week. Patricia hasn't called since the dinner.